Greetings and God bless. I don't know if this live stream is going to work because I keep seeing some sort of error message, but I'm just going to try. So, this is a Talk Out Loud video, and thank you for those who like my talks and videos, and thank you so much for the positive feedback. It means a lot to me. And I was just listening to some, 60s classic rock. And as a believer in Lord Jesus Christ, I was like, oh, I should just avoid, popular music. And so I don't really listen to music much because I'm like, everything's Satanized. And then I was like listening to it just to kind of get some fortitude as I go out in the day and take the bus and stuff like that. And it's been like, I don't know, a long time. I don't know. Since I've heard these songs, it's, I don't know, maybe been years. And I like listened to, um, these like the radio type of material a couple times just lately, but I can go like months not listening to it. And my ability to focus deteriorates when I'm not listening to music. And I think music just does a lot of other things. And I hear bird song all the time. I do sometimes listen to, gospel hymns or something like that, but it doesn't do the same thing. And it dawned on me that, okay, so, everybody in music and politics and media and movies and literature, like everybody's been hijacked by the Satanists, by the Luciferians. And this has been for millennia. The Khazarian Mafia, the Canaanites, the Babylonians, this pagan cult. They're strategic and they're worldwide and they're in everything. And they target the talent, the capable, whatever. And maybe at first somebody's stupid and selfish and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll be a Luciferian. And then they grow up and they're like, oh wow, I don't really want this. I don't want to contribute to this evil. But maybe they thought they sold their soul, or maybe they did, or whatever. And it, I mean, life is not simple. Humans are not simple. And so could it be that some of these who were originally trafficked and groomed to be in this Luciferian satanic, music cult or movie cult, can they have been like originally they were all brainwashed and just a slave, and then they grew out of it by the grace of God, and then they're like, how can I help these ignorant people, probably not even worth helping, honestly. Like that's what I notice with people today. Like, 2025, they still are into masking. They're still into the whole fake scamdemic narrative, or the race narrative, or the environmental narrative. They're like, I gotta eat tofu. I gotta eat a clean diet, even though they're not the problem. It's the globalist psychopaths, oligarchs that are poisoning the skies and the food in there. Anyway, you know what I mean. So, some people are just going to be evil their whole lives. But from what I've even just observed in, my 55 years, is that people evolve. They go from being really idealistic to total tools for the state. Or they go from being total tools to better people, or whatever. So because after I was listening, I listened to some Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, some Jethro Tull. I mean, these are pretty dark, heavy-ish bands, but I felt better. And I'm like, how can this be? How can I feel better as a Bible believing, King James only, 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4, Romans 3, 25 to 28 Christian that believes on the death, burial, and resurrection of Lord Jesus Christ, and that we are saved by faith in that is his crucifixion and his resurrection, and we're saved by his shed blood. We're saved by faith in the blood. So how can I feel better when I listen to some really well done classic rock or whatever it is that that helps. And maybe these former Satanists are like, oh wait, made a mistake, and we gotta help these people with the music or with the comedy or with the whatever. Um, it's just a thought that I have because like some things really do help. That's like, popular for me. And I don't understand it. um and I know, like hardcore Christians are like, spells or and I believe it. I some songs, are just so heavy to listen to. Some songs really sound like to me like it's Lucifer or Satan in agony of his separation from God, and it was his choice. Like Lucifer rejected God and is proud and you know and has to deal with the consequences and doesn't handle it well and is in pain. I mean, that's the thing. That's why the devil is so malevolent. Is the pain. I think the pain of separation, and he wants everybody to feel it, and he blames everybody for what he did, and it's just that kind of rationale of the left, rationale of the Democrat, rationale of the race baiter. That's like it's everybody else's fault. I am not responsible for the consequences of my actions, and I mean, and this is just what I see of demonized people behaving like. Um, and so I think like a lot of songs and poetry and stuff like movies, media, sculpture. Um, I think some of the most poignant is like Lucifer being because all these love songs, there's so many love songs that don't make sense, like that don't make sense in this 3D reality or in the time it was written in the 1970s or 80s or whatever, or written by that particular musician and that person's lifestyle. Like so much of the stuff is like so high concept and ethereal. um songs don't make sense lyrically, from the humans that supposedly wrote them, and in the time that they were written in. So I think a lot of songs are, channeled from Satan, maybe like some agonizing love songs that don't make sense, like the Police. I will always watch you. I can't remember every step you take. It's a stalking kind of song. Um, but anyway, on the more cheerful side, though, could there be these folks who are trapped in the system, and but they became a believer, maybe, as best as they could, because these Satanists who have been groomed and imprisoned and enslaved, like they may not be able to get out of their situation. They might have. I mean, I don't know the situation, but it does seem like in the whole trafficking thing that there's handlers and guards and you know so maybe these people were trapped and what's that lady Britney Spears, who might be a guy, I think, actually. I mean, that person was like bled, like they would take multiple vials of her blood every day, and she was trafficked. And that's why Britney Spears is so out of it, because they've been enslaved and ritually abused and shamed and shunned and manipulated and deranged deliberately. um Hypnotized on drugs put by other people, like that guy. I mean, I don't know the popular people, Kane West, I think. Like he had a handler who put him on drugs and said he was crazy or something like that, and had him institutionalized or something. So it's like these people are trapped, and I don't, so when somebody is trapped and they really they see what Satan is, and it just it's like it's against what they feel, um, and so they're like, I've got to stop. I got to do my part. So I'm wondering if some of what media is very good might, even though it was through the satanic machine but the intent was godly, like of Lord Jesus Christ. Like could that be? Is that a possibility? And I wonder. So I just wanted to put that out there. So what do you guys think? Thanks for watching. God bless.